Amidst the joyous commotion, Princess Adanne suddenly gasped and collapsed. Her distraught mother wept inconsolably against King Chukwuemeka's chest, equally distressed. But the wise healer—
Hi, Pigtails here. Interesting story ahead. Watch out and take care.
But if this healer can spark even a glimmer of hope in Adanne's eyes, I won't object, King Chukwuemeka said, giving them his blessing. Adanne and Arinze barely slept that night, filled with delicate anticipation. Several days later,
in the morning of the bustling village market, as Chief Uzo had planned, large crowds gathered along the grassy banks of the winding river that bordered the kingdom. News of the significant cleansing ritual for Princess Adanne, to be conducted by the respected village elder and healer, Chief Uzo, had quickly spread by word of mouth and attracted multitudes. Representatives, townspeople, and merchants from all 5 surrounding kingdoms journeyed to witness the ceremony. Many brought sick relatives or friends, hoping to benefit from Chief Uzo's legendary talents. Kings and high priests from each kingdom, recognizable in their gleaming robes of status, also attended with great interest. Despite their own failed attempts to lift Adanne's curse over the years, they came to observe. Colourfully clad female dancers with shell-adorned anklets gathered, ready to perform. The royal drummers assembled too, prepared to play sacred beats invoking divine spirit powers. Even Princess Adanne's parents, the Queen and King Chukwuemeka, quietly joined the gathered crowd. Finally, Chief Uzo appeared, wearing a majestic feathered crown, representing his ancestral authority, and leopard print clothing, showing his command of ancient mystic forces. He emerged slowly from the forest fringe by the river. Surrounding him respectfully was a group of muscular, bare-chested warrior guards, painted with sacred white ochre clay designs. They carried jars of purified water from the river and baskets filled with ritual elements like powders made from rare rainforest roots, exotic bird feathers, elephant hide bracelets, and curved tusks from legendary sea beasts. Princess Adanne sat gracefully beside him on a woven reed mat, wearing a soft ivory gown. However, her eyes showed her anxiety. Arinze knelt behind her, holding her shoulders firmly. Adanne sought his warmth as her only comfort amid the uncertainty and memories of past disappointments before numerous councils of mystics. Just beyond, King Chukwuemeka stood protectively with his advisors, who had come to witness any miracle for themselves. Soon, the steady beat of hide drums filled the air, signaling everyone to gather. "Be blessed, my children," Chief Uzo's strong voice echoed across the area. "Today, we gather at this sacred river, seeking divine pardon and grace from forces once angered." He looked directly at Princess Adanne, his gaze intense. "With faith and reverence, I will use every power granted to me by the Creator to help this blameless young lady who has suffered for so long." In response to his words, the drummers began a complex, accelerating beat. The dancers started their spirited routine, their bracelets jingling. Everyone watched eagerly as the tense scene unfolded at the shoreline, filled with fervent hopes. A tense silence fell over the crowd as Chief Uzo lifted his staff towards the sky, seeking divine intervention. Everyone watched closely as he lit herbs in a bowl, filling the air with a strange, sweet-smelling smoke. Then Chief Uzo began a dance, following ancient traditions passed down through generations. His chants, spoken in an ancient language, seemed to echo through the air, sending shivers down the spines of many. The sounds of the forest faded away, as if paying respect to the ceremony. Princess Adanne closed her eyes, overwhelmed by memories from her past. Memories of a beggar child she had once rejected, and the harsh words she had spoken without remorse. Meanwhile, the other kings observed Chief Uzo's actions with solemn approval, while Adanne struggled to control her emotions. After an hour of intense ritual, Chief Uzo grew weary, examining the bones and shells scattered on the ground for signs from the spirits. Unfortunately, the signs remained unclear and unfavorable. Disappointment rippled through the crowd as Chief Uzo prepared to make a second plea. This time, an assistant drew a small amount of blood from Adanne's wrist as an offering. Yet, despite their efforts, the ritual was unsuccessful. As the morning progressed, Chief Uzo continued to pour all his energy into a third and fourth dance, sprinkling rare purple powders over Adanne's kneeling form. However, despite his heartfelt efforts, the crowd grew increasingly doubtful and restless. Some began to grumble, accusing Uzo of being a fraud. Adanne fought back tears, feeling the familiar sting of disappointment. Arinze held her close, offering words of comfort while glaring at the hecklers. Even the dignitaries shook their heads in disbelief, unsure of what to do until the ceremony was over. Only King Chukwuemeka remained, holding on to hope that the situation would somehow change. Meanwhile, Chief Uzo felt exhausted and confused. His methods, which had always succeeded in the past, were failing him now. Sensing the gravity of the situation, Uzo drank some water brought by young Arinze and appealed to the ancestors for guidance. He realized that only love could overcome the cruelty of the curse. With newfound understanding, Uzo decided to approach the situation with raw humanity, rather than relying solely on official rituals. Uzo took off his fancy clothes and went to Adanne, who was sad and tired, and held her hands tightly, looking into her eyes with seriousness. In a loud voice, he called out to Queen Izumba in the sky. Instead of doing fancy dances, Uzo surprised everyone by kneeling with Adanne on the muddy ground. With their heads bowed and hands together, Uzo spoke from his heart to Queen Izumba. He asked her to listen to him, saying he was her humble servant. He begged her to show mercy to Princess Adanne if there was any goodness left in her. After speaking, Uzo went quiet, and everyone waited anxiously, hoping for a miracle. Seconds felt like forever as they waited to see what would happen. Suddenly, strong winds rose from the calm waters, swirling around the ritual site. People gasped as spirits of ancestors appeared above the river. Then, right before Chief Uzo, a beautiful goddess emerged in a flash of bright sunlight piercing through the clouds. She wore threads of pure copper. People shielded their eyes and turned away, recognizing the divine presence of Goddess Izumba. When the glow faded a bit, everyone looked at the goddess. Izumba spoke to Chief Uzo in a kind voice, acknowledging his devotion to Princess Adanne. She looked at Adanne, who trembled but met her gaze. After a moment, the goddess said, "So be it, child. Even the coldest heart can find its way to light." Then, with a gentle smile that seemed tinged with sadness, Goddess Izumba spoke. "I take back the curse I unfairly placed many years ago in a moment of my own pain." She blessed Chief Uzo, saying, "Continue to serve your people with love. The heavens are pleased with deeds done from the heart." With these kind words still lingering in the air, Izumba's glowing form suddenly transformed back into that of a humble peasant, before disappearing as quickly as she had appeared. A deep silence fell over the crowd as they absorbed the miraculous events they had just witnessed. Then, a jubilant cheer erupted as the people celebrated the merciful actions of the goddess, while Chief Uzo beamed with pride. However, amidst the joyous commotion, Princess Adanne suddenly gasped and collapsed. Arinze rushed to catch her, calling out her name anxiously as her parents hurried to help revive her. At Chief Uzo's calm direction, the limp princess was swiftly moved to his secluded dwelling, away from the public eye for recovery. There, for countless anxious hours, while the crowds outside slowly dispersed, Princess Adanne lay eerily still on Chief Uzo's woven sleeping mat. Her distraught mother wept inconsolably against King Chukwuemeka's chest, equally distressed. But the wise healer only smiled at their worry. Be patient. The young lady's spirit undergoes a profound transformation, crossing from one reality to the next. This indicates the goddess's complete forgiveness. True to his prediction, after a full day and night of deep slumber, Princess Adanne finally stirred, weak as a newborn cub. As her blurry vision cleared and she saw her beloved Arinze kneeling beside her, the princess's voice quivered with apprehension. Please, has the goddess's curse truly been lifted from me after all this time? Holding her breath, she slowly raised a trembling hand to her face. Then she gently inhaled through her nose. Waiting for a few tense moments, she took another fuller breath. And then, suddenly, she sat up straight in amazed delight. Princess Adanne couldn't stop crying tears of joy and thanking the heavens loudly. I no longer have that awful smell. It's a miracle. Thank you, Goddess Izumba. Chief Uzo had done the impossible through his strong belief in selfless acts. His ritual had finally freed Princess Adanne from her curse, allowing her to embrace a future filled with love and acceptance that had been denied to her for so long. The villagers celebrated together for days, united by the marriage of two resilient souls who had grown stronger together. 6 months later, Princess Adanne and Arinze were deeply in love and making plans to marry. Both of their families supported them wholeheartedly. King Chukwuemeka, Adanne's father, had come to admire Arinze for his unwavering dedication to Adanne. Chief Uzo, Arinze's father, had welcomed Adanne with open arms from the very beginning, even when she was still struggling with the curse. Not long ago, Chief Uzo, Arinze and their families approached King Chukwuemeka to ask for Princess Adanne's hand in marriage. The king happily agreed. On that special day, everyone gathered to celebrate the young couple. They were overjoyed to finally give their blessing to the union after years of courtship and overcoming the curse. Princess Adanne was beaming with tears of happiness. Over the next few months, Arinze worked tirelessly to save money for Princess Adanne's bridal dowry, as was customary. He took on extra drumming gigs and wood-carving jobs, excited about the prospect of marrying Adanne. Then, one day, shocking news spread throughout the kingdom. Prince Ukandu, who was expected to become the next king of the powerful Okanga kingdom, arrived unexpectedly.
Content interests you, please consider clicking on the subscription button and the bell close to it to get notified when we upload a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share to others. We love you.